Finally worked. We're live on YouTube, guys.
Yes.
Yay! Hello,
It's
YouTube.
a miracle. Okay, we are live.
Give us just
We're
a
live.
moment to get everything started.
Don't trip.
Not totally something I would
We'll
do too.
catch you.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh,
Appreciate
our we don't generally have, I feel like,
A view of
a view of ourselves
Just
doing
the
this.
phone.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is kind of neat. Our set looks amazing. Thank you, Olive and
Yes,
Ash.
thank
Yes,
Thank you.
So
Thank
holiday. Warm and cozy by the fireplace because it's cold again this morning.
It is. It's freezing in here.
Amazing.
I think it might be warmer outside.
Yeah, it is kind of cold
It's
here.
been really mild the last couple of days.
Yes,
Nice.
It has.
Although we need snow because my youngest has said if there's no snow on Christmas, Santa won't be able to land.
my kids said the
I
same
mean,
thing.
solid answer. I get it, buddy.
We can have snow on the 24th and
Right.
then be gone on the 26th.
Yeah, I would be okay with that too.
Yeah,
I meant-
27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just needs a little for holiday feel. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today, episode 13, which is also crazy to think of. We'll give a few moments for everyone to hop on and maybe just run through what we're going to talk about today. We have a lovely special day. Anna,
Oh,
Right?
you did it.
Princess Anna.
On my other side is like, oh my
God.
God.
Sorry. I just knocked over a bottle of wine, sorry. The Mall Market Orangeville. So we're going to talk about all things local gift giving this season. We have in our community here an amazing array and surrounding communities of entrepreneurs, and the Mall Market is a great venue for them to be able to come out and show their wares and generate some great sales. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about what's been happening. There was an interest rate announcement this morning.
Today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That after.
A little bit surprising. I'll let Sarah talk about that after because she was the one that went on and found the stat. I actually forgot about
This
it.
time.
We were trying to pretend it wasn't gonna happen.
Right. But I guess first, we don't have no way of knowing. Oh, here, I can do it on here to find out.
No, Jacqueline's on over here right now, so whoop, mute yourself.
Turn my mute.
So we have
Seven
seven
viewers.
viewers. Do you want to wait a couple more? Oh, someone else just came on.
Jessica joined.
8 hours I joined.
So the reason why we're checking viewers is because we had our giveaway going the last few weeks here. So we have a $150 gift card from Bluebird that we're going to be randomly picking today. We've got the app set up, ready to go.
Yep.
So there was an extra bonus to this giveaway was if you're online when we actually do this draw and your name is selected while you're on here, get a bonus bottle of wine.
That's a nice line.
To enjoy perhaps before
Track
your
her
dinner
down.
at the lovely Bluebird restaurant.
Before or after?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how
Yeah,
drunk you want to go.
true,
into
true,
the
true.
It's not exactly a drunk spot.
It is good food. You don't want to miss it.
No,
yes,
guaranteed
so
it will
good.
be an
Yeah.
amazing experience.
So good.
Okay, so we had this is what I mean. It was 10 and then it
That's
goes
okay.
down to 7.
So do we want to just do the draw right now then?
Yep.
So
I'm
Jessica right now is doing a random picker. We've taken the post, we throw it into the scan. It's going through all of the entries. We had the last time I looked like 400 and something entries.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
half of
amazing.
them this morning. So
Half of them this
everybody
morning.
who was slacking.
My
Yes!
phone, I was trying to like get ready, do my hair and makeup, and it was like ding 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 ding, ding, and I'm like, are there actual messages in here? Like,
My battery
lighting up.
died
Yeah, you have
from all the explosions.
Yep.
But that's fantastic.
So
There we
Da-da-da.
go.
there it is.
482.
Where's the official
Right,
entry?
you got to find winners.
I just was making sure it was set to
I
the
was a
thing.
little premature on my drum roll.
Congratulations! The winner is no.
We're gonna come back to this.
Just a moment. We're gonna do it really quick. I did this
It
last
wants us
night.
to register for the account. We haven't used this app yet, so the
No,
No, I
this
think
is.
if you do this, because I use it and I use a free account, you should be okay.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
Hold, please.
Hold,
we need some
please.
elevator music.
do, 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 do.
I could sing you that Beyonce song from the 8
Oh, can we do a
tapes
dance?
we did
Oh, I
yesterday.
already registered.
Your dancing is impeccable lately.
Oh.
By the way, I saw your post yesterday.
Couldn't
right?
believe
Your
it.
reel
Do
yesterday.
you
She
know
made
how
us do it.
long I've been begging them to do dance reels? And every time they conveniently are like, oh, I'm late.
Gotta go,
I have to
appointment."
go.
Realtor life, I've got an appointment.
Sorry, my ankle hurts.
Right? So now they see how popular they
How
are.
long did you have to practice that though? You
We
were
didn't
right in
practice,
sync and
like,
everything.
Okay, but I practiced the day before a little bit. Like I turned on the music and I was dancing, and I'd like watch some videos, and they were like doing certain moves, and I get there and Jacqueline has different moves. So I'm like, oh my god, I practiced the wrong one.
I did the official
Beyonce
Beyonce
one.
challenge.
official one.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we were in a laundromat. We were doing all of the washing for the coats and the kids' jackets. We did so amazing. Like
Oh my
I
gosh.
know, I saw that pile. It was
so
huge.
much, dude. Like
Yeah.
the back of my truck was full. I couldn't fit anything else in there. Nick was like,
Did you
I
see-
can't get any more in.
Yeah.
Did you see we fit it in my car?
I know. She had to put down all of her seats in her CRV and like pushed it in. She's driving.
Like literally bags,
Just
roof to
piled.
floor.
I mean, how long were you there?
every-
4 hours.
4 hours.
Four-
And
well-
we used what, 8?
Jess and I, by the time we left, probably 5 hours.
5 hours? Wow. I think we had like 8 or 9 washing machines going, and Bars Cleaning actually like donated the cleaning to us, which
Oh,
was
okay.
so
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah,
Such
it
a
was
great
so great.
local community. Like so many people came out, all the stores that we had involved with it. Orangeville, Grand Valley, and Shelburne, they were amazing to be able to like take everything in. We were
Yeah.
doing weekly runs. My office downstairs was
You
maxed. I
should
couldn't
see my
even get in
house
there.
now.
We're going on Friday to sort everything out
Oh.
and make sure all the schools have asked for certain things.
So certain sizes and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a couple of schools have said, let's get some extra clothing for kindergarten
Yeah.
to grade 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my kid comes home. He didn't come home with snow pants yesterday.
Oh. That always happens
That's
with the kindergartens though, right? They
Love
need
them.
extra snow pants, splash pants, especially with the outdoor
I think
classes
yes.
in the morning.
Well, you have a
Exactly.
son similar age to mine. Mine needs about 8 snowsuits
Oh.
just to get through because he comes home and bless his heart, he does his own laundry.
What?
Yes, I
Cars?
I
Yeah,
taught
I
him
got
that.
that.
But he comes home
gosh.
brown.
Oh,
Because
no.
of the
Yeah.
time of year, right?
Yeah.
So wet, muddy gloves, wet, muddy snow pants, you name it, it's a disaster. And
Right.
every single day we have to wash them.
Yeah.
We have to send them to school on the bus and
Yeah.
No,
smelly
no.
wet.
Yeah. And then
So
it's all
I think with that though, like as much as we've done so many families already, like we've handed out so much, we've got the schools. If anybody needs anything, like we have.
Yes, reach out.
so
please.
much.
Yes.
We've already linked up with a couple of the local shelters. We'll be dropping off the excess, but like if you need something, message us, contact your school.
Comment, find one of us on Instagram
Yeah.
or DM us at behind_the_sign_Canada. We also have an email behindthesign_Canada@gmail.com.
Okay, then just scroll through all the
Um,
comments and just randomly
If you
pick
know
one.
anyone that needs any outerwear or you need something or you know of somewhere that could use some donations, please let us know because we've got coats coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, when
Keep it
we had
PG.
our bin at the October 1st market,
Yes.
I had 2 drop-offs ahead of time because they wouldn't be able to make the market.
Amazing.
I'm not
2
getting
full
any connection.
snowsuits. People were like, "No, I'll meet you somewhere. I really want to donate." Brand new.
Yeah.
One of them was brand new. I was just saying the bin
We
that
had-
I had,
yeah,
we had people drop off
bins.
before the market even
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So.
Bins of stuff that people went out to buy with tags
Yeah.
just to donate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
such an awesome community.
It really was.
How are we coming along over here?
Our comment isn't
No.
comment picker
we're
isn't
not
working, so we
working
could do
here.
a couple different things. We can either just randomly select somebody, or we can figure it out after and post it after. And we can come back on live after we figure it out because I feel like we should probably get this moving.
Yes.
Yes, we should. Any insight? You guys want to?
Anybody that's logged on, so
I think it'll be
sorry.
more fair if we announce it after.
I think so too.
Don't kill me.
So I think what
Yeah.
we're gonna do, and because of our issue, you're gonna get this one either way. The winner. Thank you for everyone that did join on. Stay
Yes.
with us. We've
Stay
got
with
some
us.
awesome topics to go over, but I think we'll move forward and we'll circle back.
Sorry
to
about that, guys.
Technical
Technology.
difficulties.
It's because Jessica. We left it to
We left it to
Jessica.
Jess, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, if you've watched any of our past episodes, if we have technical hiccups, always Jess's fault.
Yes.
Mine did once. Mine did once.
The,
You gotta turn
the problem is that I did this last night and it worked just fine,
Of course.
but I guess you're only allowed
you might have done one,
free thing
right.
before
Remember I
having to sign
told
up
you
for a
that.
membership.
I
Yes,
said
but
you
then I
did
tried
this-
it again this morning and it worked fine this morning.
I
So
think it's like some of them are like 3 or something. Anyways,
yes, anyways,
moving forward.
we will do this.
We'll
we will
figure it
get
out
your
after.
prize. Don't you worry.
Yes. 100%.
So let's start with the mall market then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what is your official title? It's the mom
My
Who
market.
are
official
you?
title is very fancy, I
Ooh.
think. It is the director of the Orangeville division of the Mom Market Collective.
Okay.
Ooh.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Got the handle.
I don't have a name tag.
Director or Orangeville director. But
That's
I mean,
amazing.
I get called the market lady, the mom market lady, stuff like that. But yeah.
Nice.
Anna.
And and then I always feel bad
Anna.
correcting people, but I just say now Princess Anna, and then they go, "Oh, like the movie Frozen." So,
I actually have
Literally
another
flew in my
friend,
head.
Anna,
yeah.
pronounces it that way. She could be watching because she tunes in quite
Does she
frequently.
spell
so-
it ANA?
Yes,
Oh,
same way,
okay.
yes.
Oh,
So,
really?
anyway, yeah.
I've never met anyone.
No,
else.
yeah.
Very cool.
And what does a director do?
Yeah.
So I basically run the division. So Orangeville, it's called Orangeville, but we do Orangeville and surrounding areas. So Shelburne, I've gone over to, we did one in Rosemont, which is a
Ooh,
smaller
yes,
town.
yes,
Rosemont.
sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Palgrave, we just did for our Halloween market. I can dip down into the top of Caledon. And we are doing one out in Grand Valley in March. So I try to really
Amazing.
do the circle and then keep coming into Orangeville.
When are the ducky races? Would that line up? Or is March still too cold?
May.
May?
It's May,
yeah.
yeah.
March. Do that when the ducky races.
March is that month when we all think it's gonna get warm, and then we're super disappointed because it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the March one I'm keeping inside for that,
Good call.
just
Yeah.
in case.
And that was in Grand Valley?
Grand Valley.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'll check that out.
And will we get there? Where can people find information
Yes.
about the market?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on the list.
So
Yeah.
as the director of the Orangeville division, basically I pick a date, find a venue, find the vendors, and then once the vendors are confirmed, which there's a lot of work behind the scenes for that, I do my best not to have any crossover product
Yes.
or
Yeah.
very little.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll have, 2 vendors who make 10 different items,
Mm.
and they might both have candles as one of their items, and
Mm.
that I will usually chat with the vendors, and then we're okay with that. But we really try not to have, 3 vendors doing wood signs.
Yeah.
The
Right.
idea is if you're coming to a market to sell your product, that you're gonna sell your product and you're not competing with somebody else, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of work behind the scenes with that. But once the vendor list is set, then I basically start marketing the market. So in person, I take my kids all over
They're
the
always on
place.
reels. They're famous.
My kids are famous. People will, yes, they love everything with the kids in it. And we just do in-person marketing. I do a lot of social media, as you know. I re-share things onto my fitness and nutrition page to try and get
As much
as
exposure.
much exposure as possible.
Yeah,
The Orangeville Banner did a little blurb about us
Oh,
for the
nice.
Christmas
Yeah.
market, which is
Amazing.
really cool, and we really appreciate that. So, and then day of the market, obviously there is setup, keeping all the vendors happy,
Mhm.
accommodating for the last minute racks that they bring and all this
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So really, I just really want the vendors to be happy with their setup so that they can feel comfortable for the day, because the market is their storefront for the day.
Yeah.
90% of them don't have a storefront, and they're doing this all online or out of their house or whatever. So we want them to have almost like a little boutique
Right.
for people to come and shop.
Fun fact, so before I got into real estate, I ran a small business where I made handmade scarves, hair bows, bow ties, bags,
Oh, really?
all sorts of stuff. So I can attest to how much work these vendors put into their booths.
Mhm.
It's more than just the product.
table,
Like
yeah.
it's a
Oh,
whole other beast.
Just to
Getting
set it up.
tables and
Yeah.
racking and
Yeah.
display pieces, and it's expensive. So
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's incredible to watch. I mean, my setup on that day, once I have them all sorted out where they're going, I set up a table with my sign and we usually like a giveaway or something,
Yeah.
right? And it's incredible to watch them come in with, sometimes 25 bins of stuff,
Wow.
and they turn this bought into like a little
store.
boutique.
Yeah.
Little
Very
ants coming
cool,
in,
yeah.
just like
Yeah. And then tear down is the same. I'll take down my table, be chatting with someone, turn around, and boom, everybody's
Wow,
Yeah.
it's gone.
It's like another craft, right? The setup and then the tear down. But
Yeah.
some of the vendors, this is what they do every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
This is because this is their store for the
There's
weekend,
so many
right?
markets going around. Like I'm constantly seeing different markets. I know that like somebody's got this question. I think, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I read this, but for you, like I know that I've caught on to you and I follow you a lot. What do you think sets the mom market apart from
From the
other
other
markets? Like,
markets.
is it just because I recognize you so
So
much? or-
I think like I can speak for the Orangeville division since I've been doing it. I think what people have said has set us apart is the fact that I really do, not that other people don't care about their vendors and stuff like that, but to me, I really care that the vendors have made the money back that they've spent on their table. So vendors have to pay me a fee,
Right.
to cover, everything, the venue, the insurance, my time, obviously, the marketing budget. And it is super important to me that they make that money back and then some.
Right.
Obviously, each vendor, it's going to depend. It depends on what you sell. If you sell $100 signs and you sell $3 hair bows, your profit's going to be different.
Yeah.
But I really care. Like I grew up in a house where my dad and my mom had their own businesses. My husband has his own business. I also have another business on the side.
Mhm.
I know that this is people's livelihood, right?
Mhm.
So when they're doing this, it's really important. And I feel like that is across all of our 29 divisions with the mom market. Everybody just really, truly cares about their vendors.
Right.
And it's like very important to us that you have had a good day. If somebody's unhappy, it does matter to us.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel too that you guys, your exposure, like the marketing aspect of it is what has made you guys so successful too. Like a lot of these markets will be like the week before there's a
Right.
post somewhere and
Right.
Or it's a Facebook event.
yeah, and that's it.
Right.
But you guys really like, because it's constant
And-
and it's
right.
frequently happening.
So they are consistent too. Like I get to pick when I do a market,
Right.
which works because I have the 2 kids and all the sports and everything, but I also don't disappear for 3 months.
Right.
I have a market at least once, if not twice a month, and that goes across with all our divisions too. We want to be a consistent presence in the community. Right?
Which makes it a great relationship with your vendors too, because they know that they can rely on you
and
for the next
shoppers,
show.
because
Yeah,
often the shoppers will say, "When are you guys back?" or "Are you coming back to this venue?" or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
Which leads us to our next question. So being that you are the director, something,
Yeah.
for the Orangeville division, are vendors specifically, like, do you hunt them specifically from DUFFERIN? Do you try to keep it hyper local that way? And on top of that, what kinds of vendors do you like to bring in?
Okay, so for me personally, I do like to have the majority from DUFFERIN because I feel like that's the whole point, right? And because we do have 29 different divisions, it's not like usually there is somewhere for the vendors, there's other markets.
Yeah.
With that said, I have had vendors come from Toronto and stuff like that. Usually it is a vendor who I don't already have locally.
Right.
So
Like a different type of
a
product.
different type
Yeah.
of product or service. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I would ideally like to take somebody from Orangeville or Shelburne or Grand Valley who sells candles as opposed to somebody coming all the way from Toronto, as an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And then what was the second part of the question?
It was just what types of vendors.
types. Oh,
Like,
goodness.
do you have a list that you generally kind of go from, or do
Like
you
a good mix.
do you get
Yeah.
applications and just sort of filter through and
So
go?
I get applications. I filter through. I try to get rid of the crossover. So if there is, candles are super popular. So I'll use candles as an example. I often have to unfortunately turn away many candle vendors. So if you're a candle vendor, please apply quickly to my.
And how does that work? First come, first
First
serve?
come, first serve. You
Yeah.
get 48 hours with my reply to pay for your spot.
Mm,
And
okay.
then I always send a reminder.
Yeah.
I'm not really supposed to, but I always send a
Yeah.
reminder.
I mean,
Just in case.
Cover your ear,
It
boss.
is
Yeah.
the
Jasmine
mom
knows
market.
that.
We all know.
I
what
mean,
mom
most,
brains are like.
yeah, not all the vendors are, most of us, our moms are busy in general. So I send a reminder. They usually pay for their spot. And then I tell the other vendors who are selling the exact same product, here's the other markets that we have coming up. have a look at those. Hopefully something works, kind of thing. So the type of vendors, oh my goodness, there's such a list. Candles, sugar cookies, children's clothing, knit, crochet,
There's
macrame
the-
items,
Spices lady.
epicure.
Santa, yeah.
I have, yeah,
The guacamole
epicure.
dip is the best.
Yes, so we have like
So good.
epicure, pampered chef, Norwex, like those types.
Yeah.
And then we have, you know, like the people who actually make the products. They're
Mhm.
called, in the market world, they're called the makers.
Yeah.
Right.
So like my sister's company, Mad Max Bakehouse, she does sugar cookies.
I never knew that was your
That's
sister.
my sister,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Yes, for reals! I just watched.
I
her
watch it all the
cookies.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
It's the most
gosh!
satisfying thing.
Yes.
I love it. She's the creative one. I'm the one
Right.
that's good with the marketing. So.
Perfect team. Perfect team.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have, and oh my goodness, what else? We have, who do I
You
bring?
had
Oh,
a
we have,
tarot card reader.
we
there the
had,
other day.
yes, Oracle card reading.
Oh, that's cool.
And my kids.
Crystal at Beyond Beauty that came actually to our Christmas market. She's in Shelburne. She does.
Oh yes.
Hi,
That's
Crystal.
Crystal.
Hi.
Crystal. She's doing my teeth whitening in 2 days, and she Botox and all that. So we range from products and services as well, which is really cool.
Yep.
And when I can, like Crystal actually was able to offer Botox at the Christmas market.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I
missed that.
can, when I have, you know, the room, and obviously we do all the, with the food vendors and everything too, we go through public health, we do everything.
Right.
Very legit and all that, so.
Well, Crystal means business when she's doing
Oh,
any of
yeah.
that kind of
Crystal's
stuff.
awesome.
She's so good.
We put her at the front too, so she can talk to everybody.
Yes.
Right. Well,
That's
I guess
awesome.
we wanted to know too, just more history on the mom market specifically. Like, how long has it been around, or how did it come to be?
Yeah, so the Mom Market Collective is the larger company, and then with the 29 divisions underneath.
29?
Which you said it,
29.
like it ranges across Canada.
Yeah, so we actually, this is where I need my little notes. BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia.
That's
So we
amazing.
have 29 divisions now. Jasmine started this in 2019. Her and her best friend, they just did a market. It was kind of like they had a space and they had a bunch of vendors from the community and just kind of did it. And then afterwards, people asking, when's the next one? When are you gonna do another one? You should do another one. And that is what started it.
Wow.
And it became, and this was 2019, so right before all the craziness happened, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger
It's
through
huge
all
growth
this.
though. Like
Yeah,
for such
yeah.
a small amount of time.
Yeah.
Massive
In,
growth.
in that,
Could you tell
in
me how
that
much you grew so
time.
fast?
I mean, we were shut down.
Yeah.
In
Right,
exactly.
2020,
So
2021.
I have only been with the Mom Market since June of this year, but I do know that during all that, with the shutdown, they ran markets online. So they were really
Oh,
trying to keep
yeah.
small
Momentum
businesses.
going. Nice.
Because and I think a lot of people realized with all that happened in 2020 that small businesses are so important, and it's
There
so
was a shift.
important, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that?
Yeah.
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 Because I mean, I know myself, I was always interested in helping my friends and family that had a small business, but it kind of like totally changed when everything happened. You realized like things were shutting, like small businesses were closing.
How
and
easy
stuff
it
like
was
that.
to like, shut
Yeah.
down.
I mean, you mentioned earlier that you come from a line of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I come from a line of entrepreneurs, and I don't think people that have never lived that experience really put thought into
Right.
Right.
the difference that it can make.
Right.
And I think COVID, people sitting around, and there was a lot of conversation around how much this was hurting people financially,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
economy,
support
right?
local,
So
support local. Yeah.
keeping it local to keep the funds in your community, and
Yeah.
And a
To
lot
your
of people
point.
started their own businesses.
Yes.
During
Yeah.
COVID.
You
Yeah.
know,
A lot of
home
realtors
businesses
started
and
up
stuff
too.
like that.
a lot.
A
Yes,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's true. I think that it's been such a great amount of growth, but for your market timing though, like you just had your market. So how do you support people if you don't have any more markets for the rest of the year? Do you still have online stuff for the next few
So
weeks? Or?
I'm not running anything specific, like I'm not doing an online market per se, but I have something coming up on my Mom Market Orangeville, the Mom Market _Orangeville on Instagram, that is going to highlight various vendors for shopping. And I'm
Oh, great.
also going to share the markets in our surrounding areas. So, you know, like Simcoe markets and Grey Bruce and stuff like that.
Awesome.
just so people, if they want to get out, they can. Our last market was Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
Santa was there.
That was a big market. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And we're done.
Can I also just point out that I felt like I was famous because I went up to the photographer and he was like, okay, what's your name? And I was like, Sarah DeBoer. And he was like, are you a realtor? And I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
He's like, you follow me on Instagram. I was like,
Yes. That's Chris at Front
He's super
Hill.
nice,
Yeah,
yes.
he's super nice.
Oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So nice when you get recognition like
Yeah,
that.
no,
though.
and
Someone
And
notices.
that's cool because I do try, like Chris came out, no charge to us or anything.
Oh, so
And
nice.
he came out in the summer as well. And he did the Santa photos at the market on Saturday. But he's local in the community as well. And it's just about like networking,
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
getting to know each
Yes.
other, right? Like you came as a shopper
Yeah.
and then you knew all these people.
And that's the thing too, is like we're seeing all these people on social and like businesses have expanded over the whole shutdown stuff. And then when you meet them in person, you're like, oh, you're like actually a person.
Yeah.
Like, I know everything about you.
Yes,
Yes,
I know,
yes,
right?
yes.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Super weird.
I know what your kitchen looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Sorry, I got us off track.
So you were saying there that you're going to put a post together
Awesome.
that people can go to. It's going to help direct you. If you're looking to support local this holiday
Yes.
season, jump over to the Mom
Market
_Orangeville.
Yeah.
To check out Anna's post. And then we were discussing doing a similar one as well. So you can keep your eyes open
Yeah.
for that one. We're just going to have a plain old post that we want you to tag any local makers or entrepreneurs
Or
that
yourself.
have, or yourself,
Or yourself. Yeah.
services or products that people might be interested for the holidays. And again, in the idea of keeping it local. So
Yeah,
keep your eye open for those couple of posts. This it blows my mind every time I really start digging into the amazing, amazing stuff that we have available here.
Yeah, so true.
100%.
Mhm.
One other question I thought of, because I know some markets there is admission fee
Mhm.
or donation to food bank or
Right.
something like that. Is there what's
So
generally
it's
the mom market?
I don't charge anything ever. There will be times where we will have donations, like we had the Kids for Coat box and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I don't ever ask for anything in order for you to get into the market. It's kind
Right.
of like an extra thing. Like,
Right.
if you can,
Right.
you know, it's there for you. With that said, and this is probably in another question, but
Right.
we are partnered with Mamas for Mamas, which is another company that they come to some of our markets. They haven't been to an Orangeville one yet, but we are having them out in 2023.
Mhm.
And they set up like an empty vendor spot with empty racks, empty bins, and stuff like that. And we collect donations, anything to do with what you would need as a new mom. And then they
Oh.
distribute that for
Okay.
us. So obviously
beautiful.
non-perishable stuff, but like anything you can think of, those baby wear things,
Yes.
clothing, diapers, stuff like that.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That's
Advil.
Oh my gosh.
No, formula's a problem now too.
I just saw a
Well,
post about that. I
on
was like, is
Facebook.
this serious?
I was like,
Formula
what?
has been a problem for a long time.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's been,
I'm sorry, mamas.
Uh-huh.
down.
Yeah, well, I will try to get some Advil too.
Yeah.
I feel like Advil's starting to come in though. I saw somebody post Shoppers is starting to get
Yeah.
stuff with the papers. It just doesn't have French on it.
Right.
So moms, watch for those.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's my
Yeah.
Facebook creeping.
So no admission, but we do try to do some kind of, donations somewhere. I kind of try to move it around, but we did recently partner with Mamas for Mamas. So they will be out at a lot of the markets.
That's
I love
amazing.
that. That's a really great idea.
And thank you
Yeah.
so much for collecting donations for
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
us
yeah.
too. That
that's
was
amazing.
great. We did- yeah, we
everybody
did
loved
lots of
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Great.
great.
No, I guess going back because we have our questions. You do a lot of your markets outside. Is there a reason why you're choosing to go outside rather than inside? Like, is there?
Well, I need
But
a
just
suntan.
That
That was one of the bad jokes that my husband said. Don't try to tell them it's not funny, but they laugh.
We thought it was funny. We thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
we like it.
Felipe, so.
I hope you're watching.
He is watching.
Rub it.
Yeah, well, so when I am pretty sure that the weather is going to be good, obviously you can never tell. We live in Canada.
Yeah.
I try to be outside because I like the extra exposure, to be honest with you.
Right.
So, I mean, I do a lot of marketing, obviously, leading up to the market, on the day of the market, but when we are outside, all the vendors have their tents up. I have signs up, balloons.
It's like a yard sale.
It
People
is.
just want to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, "Ooh, what's happening?
I
Something's
today?"
ask
happening, yeah.
people when they come to the, I don't catch everybody, but I try to. And I say, how did you find out that we were here?
Right.
And it's a good split between Facebook, Instagram. I saw your flyer. I saw you and your kids walking down the street. And we were driving and we saw these tents.
Okay.
Right.
Or we saw your sign and we were like, what is this?
Right.
So I love the extra exposure. It's
Yeah.
great for the
Okay, makes
vendors.
The Orangeville Mall location is
I like
is
that
key,
one.
I think, because
I
I've
love
so many
that.
times I've noticed just pulling off the highway there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
So that was great. So the extra exposure. And then, we go inside when, December. I'm not a fan of hanging out outside. So,
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
So we're almost done interrogating you.
and I probably answered more questions than you asked.
No,
That's
it's
good.
Everybody
Perfect,
gets to know
that's-
Anna.
that's
what
what we
we
want
want,
to, right?
platform.
Give people, an idea of why they should go to your market, why they should support your market. I think that's key.
Yeah.
So to all the people that might be potential vendors for your future markets, any tips of success for them if they were to first time come to your market, never done this before? What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, so I would say first thing would be have some pricing displayed. Even if you don't have everything priced out, just not even as a director, as a shopper, I know of when I'm shopping, if I see no prices, it can be intimidating.
Yeah.
Especially if I think something's more expensive or whatever.
Mhm.
I just like to see some prices. So I always say try to have some pricing out. The next thing would be, be social. If you're sitting there and kind of look like you're not engaged or you don't want to talk to people, people are just going to walk by your booth because there's a lot of booths there.
true.
That was a trick I learned
Yeah.
early on in the markets I did, is I would stand in front.
Yes,
my
a lot of people
Yeah.
do. A lot of my
Yeah.
vendors just push the tables back because
Keep
I set up the
fussing with
table, but they'll
it.
push the table back. Yeah, and they stand in front.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you're
Yeah.
people love to touch things, whatever. So if you're there doing
Yes.
it makes people feel comfortable to come and wreck your display, right?
And you know
Like,
what?
Yeah.
People are there to shop.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes vendors, if it's like your first market, this tends to happen. They don't want to be aggressive. They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to be salesy. But this is your business. You have to sell your product.
And there's difference
right?
between being pushy and salesy and just friendly and saying
Exactly.
hey to people.
Exactly.
And
Interacting.
who
Yeah.
are you buying this for?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I would say the other thing is, focus on networking as well. So that's why I try to keep the vendors from Orangeville and surrounding areas, because you might not buy something from me today, but if you take my business card and you follow me on Instagram, maybe your mom's birthday is coming up and then you want to buy something from me later, right?
Mhm.
So it's not always about selling on the spot. A lot of the times it's about networking and stuff like that
I
as
agree.
well.
Just
Right.
come like from 3 salespeople that don't have products to offer. We're a service. QR codes have been like the best
Huge.
invention ever.
Yeah.
So that would be my 2 cents, if I can throw that in, would be to have your QR
Picture
code
with it, yeah.
somewhere. Because if they're not ready to buy at the moment,
Yeah.
at least if you have that now connection with them, because out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
And even to add to that, connect with them after. Like if they follow you, and oh hey, it was so nice to meet you today. Like thanks for the follow. I think that one thing I noticed today. Anybody else on Instagram, all of their stuff is sponsored crap again. Christmas time, like all of the
Yes.
things are being pushed
Yes.
through. So
Yeah.
make sure you're going out and connecting with your local people because you're getting lost in the shuffle. Like I couldn't even see a single local person today when I scrolled through.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah.
So FYI, if you're going to post stuff, make sure you're
Interacting.
connecting and interacting with people.
Yes.
Or
Like
boost
both
it. I mean, if you have the budget,
I was
and you
just
can
thinking
boost
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
But yeah, and not everybody has that. So then the interacting is like free boosting, right?
Right.
100%, yeah.
Right.
I know I try, if someone follows me that's from the area that I don't know, which is unusual, I'll just send them a message. Hey, thanks for following me. How did you hear about me? How did you come across my account? And
Yes.
if nothing else, is education for me. And
And she's a stalker.
I was just gonna say this sounds like what I do.
Yes.
We got 2 stalkers.
it gets a conversation started, right? Where it's not like,
I'm just kidding.
hey, buy something from me. It's,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just genuinely curious.
I'm a real person.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a
Because
real person. Yeah.
it's not always about the sale. Social media for entrepreneurs is our livelihood in for so many different reasons. But finding out where people are finding you is invaluable. So
Yeah.
Well, it's exactly, you're gonna push that. For
Yeah.
sure. Good call.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as what you're saying with why you're doing it outside. You're finding that you're getting
Yeah.
response. So
Yeah, more engagement.
we're just getting all the tips today.
Take it out.
What are the top most frequently asked questions? Like 3 to 5 most. What do you get most generally?
Is it just for moms?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
yes,
Is it?
dads, you will
Yeah.
be
No,
denied
it's
at the
not.
door.
And yeah,
You're not allowed in now.
No, you're allowed in with your wallet.
Yeah.
A full
It's-
one.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, so it was started by moms, so that's where the name came from, right? And it is majority. It does tend to be majority moms.
I think that's just generally.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it just
The
it
demographic,
is.
yeah.
But no, I mean, people come up and ask me that as a joke, but it's we do have some vendors who are men, so
Mhm.
and they do really really well. So it's not just for moms, but that is like the number one question, and often we get some fun customers who come up and they're like, "Ooh, can I get in this? I'm not a mom." Yes, you can.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not just for moms.
So the started by moms market.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess because of the 29 division now we can't really change the name, right?
No.
Yes.
Just,
Brand
just
that,
think
yeah.
of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was started by moms, that's why, yeah. So what else? So I actually had a lot of people ask me on Saturday who were shoppers, how can I become a vendor?
Oh.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And you can just send me an email or message me on Instagram, and I can let you know what markets are coming up. So I'm done
And
for
what
this
is your
year.
email?
My email is themommarketorangeville@gmail.com.
We'll put all this info in
Yeah.
with our repost. Yeah.
And my people, you
Yes.
have it. You're on Instagram.
Way over there.
You can message me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And basically, like, I'm done until February. So
Yeah.
there's no markets between now and February for the Orangeville division.
Okay.
But I have already planned out from February until like October. So
Okay.
Which
Wow. You're
sounds
gonna
crazy,
leave
but-
here today and have like 50 emails from Candle.
yes.
Yes.
I'm first.
Yes.
I love the candles and everything, but
Who
yes, there's
doesn't?
so many candle vendors. So and I always say, like, yeah, here's the thing. This is why off topic again, but like I tried to plan it out as far as possible so that people can plan and can
Yeah.
pick what works for them, because everybody's busy and everybody's kids have 100 sports and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
if you can't do anything until May, and you know that this weekend in May we don't have anything and I really want to do a market, then you can book it now.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
also
that's
like
great.
making the products takes time
Well, that
too. So you
too,
need to like
right?
have enough inventory to supply to your
And that's why
shoppers.
we
Right.
don't, like, the Mom Market Collective across the board, we do not do markets in January.
Mhm.
And that is for us to,
De-stress.
regroup and all that
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but also for the makers to be able to make and spend time with their families and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Well, I'm sure they're all exhausted right now with all of the
They're going crazy.
reading. Yeah.
Crazy. I did a post the other day and I was just like, I put a picture of my lunch and I'm like, remember to eat. Because, like, people forget to eat.
Yes.
Yep.
Busy,
This
right?
girl,
Yeah.
this girl right here, Jessica, fed us this morning.
Six
She was
minutes.
on the. I don't think you slept. You just.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just still going.
So now to the fun part is we did ask Anna to bring some samples of
Oh, yes.
local products today.
And also, is there anything else on your cue cards that we didn't go over that you wanted to share with
I'm gonna
us?
look at those.
Right? She hasn't gone
I had
through.
the 29 divisions because I had to double check.
Yes.
We've been expanding so much. I was like 27 in my head, but we're 29. We talked about Mamas for Mamas. Oh, yes. I wanted to talk about, thank you.
Yes.
Because I really wanted to talk about this. Oh.
What?
I thought that was a time thing.
We
I
need one
wanted
of
to
those.
talk about our give back program that we're doing.
Oh,
also.
yes.
Yes. So we in November we had applications open for anybody to nominate families in need.
Okay.
So we had a ton of nominations, which is great, but also not great.
Right.
Like, people, are in such need. And then what we did is, as directors collectively, we had one of our Zoom calls and we went through them all, which was really difficult. And typically in the past, they selected one family. And then we would get donations from all our vendors and we would deliver a package to that family.
Package of what?
Anything. So vendors, whatever they can. So if you make candles and you want to donate a candle, you donate a candle.
So a Christmas
Oh,
present,
okay.
it's not like necessities.
Anything that you have that can be packed up, shipped if you were whatever far away. And then we would, whoever the family was, that director would package it up in a basket or a box or whatever and deliver it to the family.
Mhm.
This year we've chosen 7 families
Wow.
because we
Wow.
couldn't. It was, I can't even think
Heartbreaking.
about it because
Yeah.
it was really hard to go
She'll
through
start
all
crying,
those.
I'll start crying.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yes, some of the girls were. So it was really hard. But we chose 7. One of the families is in Shelburne, Ontario. So that's the one that I am helping out with. So now where we're at that we've chosen these families is we are now accepting donations from vendors. So if you go onto the Mom Market Collective website, you can fill out a form to donate. So you can let us know what you have, and then we figure out how do we get it to us.
Yeah.
And then we will package it up and we will deliver it to
Oh,
the
wow.
So what if-
Is there any way we can
Yeah, like-
contribute with the coach program?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing.
Or like,
Yeah,
can we,
afterwards.
so for a vendor, obviously a vendor donating, that's money out of their pocket. Is there a way for general public to support the vendors to be able to donate? Like, is this just vendor only? Is this public only?
So the way it's set up is vendor only, but I mean, if you are not a vendor and you don't have
I don't
a
make
small business,
candles.
you don't make candles or anything,
Mm-hmm.
or sugar cookies, you don't
Nothing.
sell sugar
Yeah, I
cookies.
eat them.
Yeah.
Then you can just contact me and we will discuss how we can do that. Cause yeah, 100%,
Amazing.
we will take all the help. I mean, even gift cards and stuff like that, we've had like some of the
Yeah.
local businesses that are like, can we give you,
Groceries,
a $50
gas,
gift card or
yeah.
anything like that? Yeah.
That's
So we just want to
Anybody
put everything
listening?
together. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
So
amazing.
so my family, like the family that I'm going to be helping out with is in Shelburne. So yeah. anywhere
Okay,
else.
no, we totally will jump onto that
Yeah.
somehow. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, it's unfortunate that it has to be done, but I'm really happy that we were able to
Mhm.
Yeah.
collectively, we were just like, we can't pick one family. We're like, sorry, we need to pick more than that.
Yeah.
So
But thank you
Yeah.
for doing
That's
that.
great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, so that was it with my little cue card. And then
Awesome.
Yeah,
let's,
let's- what
let's
you got?
get into
The
the
red
rest of
cookies.
the stuff.
stuff.
Mad Max,
Oh
we
my
have
gosh,
cookies.
Mad Max Bakehouse, which is my sister.
That's
There's
what it
no
is.
cookies because everybody ate them all.
They ate the cookies.
So, and she's in did I say it right?
Proton?
Proton or Proton?
I
think
call
I
it
say.
Proton.
I call it
Proton
Proton, but I
too.
think it's wrong.
It's like
She
mono,
is watching,
mono
she can
and
tell me.
mono.
Oh, we're
Aaron.
back to that again.
Yes,
Every
yes,
episode.
Aaron and
Erin, yes.
Aaron, I do that one, right?
Oh my goodness. So anyway, there's no cookies. I'll get you guys some cookies. But if you guys need sugar cookies, go to Mad Max Bakehouse on Instagram.
Just
Even just the
watching her
watch,
reels
yeah.
and her
Yeah,
decorating
So
is
that's on
therapeutic.
Fridays. It's called Flood Fridays.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So she and her audio is hilarious because Ariel goes from like scary music to like rap, hip hop, to like Christmas music. It's like you never know what you're gonna get on a Friday.
It was really cool though, because we watched her make the Christmas tree one. Did you see that one? She made the
Yes,
Christmas-
yes.
Declan and I, Declan made me watch it like 17 times. And then we saw it at the market. I was like, he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm so excited. He's 3. He was a little confused. He just wanted to call
Oh,
it
he just
cookie.
wanted.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up and like show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
these.
I was
Okay.
like, that's what it's called.
So these are from
Oh, Mad Max is laughing.
these are from DJ Knits, and this is Brooke's company. So she
Oh,
was
cool.
at our market on Saturday,
Oh,
and I bought
Yeah.
4 of these Pokemon balls
Oh.
because Ariel, don't show the kids. Oh no, the kids are at school.
So, yeah.
I bought one for each of my kids and one for my niece and nephew because, I mean, if you have kids that do they ever play Pokemon? Like, and
I
they
not
throw,
yet.
they throw the Pokeballs at each other
Other?
Oh.
and like smoke each other in the
And they're
head.
so
So Brooke
light.
said that she made these because her nephew hit her in the head with a tennis ball,
Oh my
did you get honest?
gosh.
trying
Yeah.
to
Oh,
catch
oh.
her. That's fine there, yeah.
That's a much safer.
And so she started making these, and these
Cute.
went like
They're so
crazy.
cute.
I want one.
I know, I'm just
Yeah.
enjoying squishing
Yeah,
it.
squishing it like
Sorry,
a stress
kids.
ball.
Second as a
Yeah.
Pokemon stress ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so cool.
You guys don't get your Christmas presents for keeping
Okay,
these?
so I was thinking we just
That's
kind
cool.
of,
You want to just put
Oh,
them
that's a
there?
good idea.
you can't, you'll see them on Instagram. They're
Yeah.
a
Should we
little.
move this back a bit? Hopefully I don't burn the place
Don't-
down.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
Don't
it's
light
a-
things on fire here.
So
Very cute.
And who was this by again?
this is Brooke, and her company is DJ Knits.
DJ
Knits. Again, we'll try and put that in the write-up afterwards.
So then here I have, okay, this is really cool. So this is, the company's called Big Spice, and it's Chris who comes to our markets. He's been to the last 2 markets, and these spices are all locally made. They have no filler in them, which is huge because I'm obsessed with ingredients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So have a look at these.
I just feel really
She's
bad
like,
every time I'm watching your
"Jeez."
Instagram, like, oh shit.
And if you ever see me at the grocery store looking at something like, so they're locally made. They have no preservatives. They're wait, this is where I have my
Palgrave?
notes here. Vegan, yeah, he's from Palgrave. Vegan, vegetarian, and celiac friendly.
Are these yours?
Oh.
These are mine.
Can I smell it?
These-
That's why I wanted to. I didn't want to
Yeah.
be rude.
I just bought them on.
Chicken.
So this is the one that I
Smells really good.
use. I bought this one from Chris in October, and that's
Oh,
salt, pepper, onion, garlic. Which
Whoa.
like that
Okay,
would
you
be the
have
standard.
everything. You get it on
It's already
everything.
done.
But it's done. I've used almost the whole thing because I use it in everything.
But it's, like, really
sauce,
fine, too.
eggs,
Well, it
yeah.
says on here, so it says on the side, what you can use them on.
Suggestions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Spice.
meats, fish, vegetables, dressings,
So
potatoes.
these 2 are new to me. Like I haven't used them yet, but I just bought all 3 because I was like, you know what? Anything that can make it easier in the kitchen
Like it smells
is
so
you can-
good.
Oh,
I'm just not- I
didn't
have
even hear my
terrible
husband.
The second I want chicken now.
Yeah, it almost
Yeah.
has like a ketchupy kind of smell.
So this one is I'm gonna
Oh,
use
yeah.
that on chicken thighs because my kids really like chicken
Oh,
thighs. I'm gonna use
yes.
that on chicken thighs. And then the Mediterranean one, I thought maybe like even doing like when you do your Greek salad dressing.
Yeah,
or-
as soon as I smelled it, I thought Greek.
yeah, he's
Greek
giving me a whole
apples.
bunch of suggestions.
like a
Even on
Sauce.
potatoes.
Yeah,
Even just sprinkled on grilled or like baked potatoes.
And it says that potatoes.
Yeah.
Your family loves their potatoes.
Oh, they do. We're
They do
Irish.
too.
We can't help it.
Can you make us dinner? And
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
you should have brought that in, like already pre-made food.
That's like
I didn't bring
stuffing.
food and I didn't bring cookies. Just
That smells
spices.
Clearly don't know me well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's good, right?
Yeah.
So
So
like what's the background smell to that?
Savory.
Chris is
What
really
reminds
good
me
at
of-
explaining. I mean, like I don't want to botch anything, but he can explain like if you have questions on how it's made and everything. But like I just when he signed up for the first market, I was like no fillers, no preservatives. Okay, I like this. Like you
Let
know,
me try this.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like I was saying, anything that can make it easier in the kitchen.
I'm
And
sorry,
this is
circle
a
back. I
common
got
thing to
distracted.
find. You see Epicure a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
against Epicure,
Yeah.
but that's not something that you often
He
see.
makes these at home though? Like,
No,
I missed
not
this
at
part,
home.
sorry.
No, they're made at a facility.
Okay.
Yeah. He can
So it is like a large company,
Yeah.
employees, people. He
Right.
doesn't just sit
No.
it out making what it
He
is.
Yeah.
doesn't, no.
Cool, awesome.
No.
And what was
You
his,
don't
did
have
we
to-
have his tank?
Yeah, it's bigspice.ca on Instagram.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
But we'll have to get all these from you after.
Yeah, let's make sure. Yeah, because.
Oh,
I think it's
Ooh,
Big Spice.
that looks fun.
Love
Okay,
it.
so the next is Bamboo Babies, and this is
Okay.
run by Veronica. So anybody on my Instagram, you all know Veronica because everybody
Yeah.
everybody knows Veronica. Veronica's been at almost all of my markets. I think she missed one.
Did she have the big racks?
Yes,
Okay.
the like boutique Bamboo Babies Kids Boutique is the
Okay.
full name. Yes.
Ooh.
So Veronica brings in clothing that is so cute. I almost sometimes think about having them.
Sometimes.
Just because
Wait,
the
don't worry.
stuff is Felipe's at home like,
Wait.
oh my god.
It's a guy.
Listening, right? She
Yeah.
can have more, so you can.
There you go.
Ariel, you can have more.
Yeah.
Their stuff is so cute, and the sizes that Veronica is carrying at the moment go up to about where my daughter is. So every once in a while she'll have stuff for her, but
Which is
Santiago's
what size?
So Valentina's like a 7-8.
Okay, so
Um,
newborn.
yeah.
seven.
Girl,
But
boy.
man,
both.
you gotta go on her page and look at the newborn. Like the
I just
the
want to
kid-
touch
Yeah.
whatever that is. I can
I'm
see it.
still in
so
that I don't
cute.
know
So
stage.
these are the hats. So these actually, she gave me these for one of the giveaways.
Sarah's gonna die. Sarah's gonna be pregnant tomorrow. Get ready, babe.
I mean,
Family
so does
I'm gonna
live
cry. I
like
need
the
this.
I feel like I may have purchased a Mommy and Me set like that last Christmas
This
for my
is
sister.
thick.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this is
from
really
one of the
good.
markets.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is like a very thick wool, like,
Yeah.
and it's not.
I like the
It's
print of
really
that.
soft.
And
This
it-
would suit you in your shoes.
Like,
that.
you know what? Look, so Valentina loves these ones with the pom poms, but they always come off. But look how like
Yeah.
well
That's
like,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah.
sewn on that is. So the
Nice.
I mean,
There's
Oh,
a
it's
button there.
removable.
Is it removable?
oh, sometimes they
Some
are.
of
yeah,
them
it's
have
nice
like
to
that.
wash them.
Yeah,
Right?
you can wash them.
Apparently, you're not allowed to put fluff in the dryer. I was told
We
yesterday.
learned this yesterday.
I gave
at
them
the
crap.
I
laundromat.
would do it. It just whatever.
The
Okay.
face-
It like
Right.
melts in the dryer.
Mm.
See?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seen all the beautiful
Exactly.
kid girls' coats that have the faux fur
Yeah.
lined hood. You put that in the dryer. Have you seen the ones that look all matted and like a homeless coyote?
Yeah.
That's because they got
That's me.
Homeless coyote.
That's what it looks like. When you
She
put
came
it
over
in
there
the
with
dryer.
one jacket that was like it had been washed a few times.
It
And
was
she's like,
a beautiful.
what
thing.
happened? I was like, it was always like this. It wasn't me.
Okay, here I'm gonna.
These are like, look at this. This
I'll
little
take a
baby.
I know it's
This
one is
one
so
is
These
soft.
are these
Oh
are
my God.
actually Valentina's.
I think I've seen her wearing
Aww.
these. These are amazing.
So like there's
Okay,
accessories, there's
that's cute.
purses.
This is,
This I bought for my nephew.
there we
So
go.
she has boy stuff too.
Bamboo
Which-
babies.
When Santiago was little, I could never find cute
here.
like little boy stuff,
Different
right?
things.
Yes.
Yes,
It's-
it's true.
We've gotten so
So
much
true.
better over the years.
And
That's
then-
really cute.
We'll wait because I want to show this jacket that I got.
Trying to make sure they
Valentina.
can see it. I put it on, but it might be this small.
So this is Valentina's part of her Christmas gift. Look at how.
Wow.
I mean, who
Oh,
doesn't
Esther
love
would have loved this. It would have matched her.
I
That's
need one
so
of those for the
cute.
gym.
So
So
cute.
Try it on.
Very cute.
Like my fit.
Yeah.
I also
That's
have
beautiful.
slippers. Like for me, she
that's really
got me a
nice.
pair of slippers in the leopard print.
Oh,
I
cute.
don't have them here, obviously, but yeah.
Yes.
That's really nice.
So that's
Very
all
cute.
from
Great
Bamboo
quality.
Babies.
Guys, it
Yeah.
might- So is she? It might fit you.
Yeah.
You can just wear it as a crop top.
It's just like a
Um,
little windbreaker, but that's
She makes all of this.
So
like, how
Veronica
does
brings it in. She brings
Okay.
it in. Sometimes I know. So gosh, I hope I don't botch anything. Veronica, you can adjust in the comments. But sometimes she will add to, like, I know the sunglasses. Sometimes she puts like little jewels on them and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she does sew some stuff. So like she'll sew onto things, and stuff like
Customize some
that.
things,
Customize them, yeah, stuff like that. So
Very
Well, that's
cute.
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, great products. Good choices
yeah,
to bring in.
really nice.
Love it.
Yes, yeah.
Well, nice little taste of what we
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Mom Market, Orangeville. Anna said March.
March is the next
March
one.
is the next one.
No,
When did
February.
February.
Oh, you're up there.
February.
Oh, yeah,
was the
you didn't
next
see
one.
those.
those
Yeah.
are so
The
Those are
glasses.
Valentine's.
Oh, they fit you
Oh my
too.
gosh, they fit
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Can you get a picture of that? Like, get up close.
Oh,
If I put
Cindy's
those on my
still-
head, they would break.
Is Cindy still watching? We got together the other day at High Turquoise Flare Photography, and she's like, I didn't have my heels on. I always wear heels.
Oh, and Cindy's like, what, 5'10"?
No, she's taller than that. She's like 6'.
Yeah,
Is she? Cindy,
Well,
she's
she's
that
taller
tall?
than me. Yeah.
Yeah, she must
But
be.
she's like, I've never seen you without heels on. You're so tiny, like short.
Like,
I'm
I feel
so
tall
short.
compared to Jacqueline.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And I'm only 5, I'm not even 5'4", and I feel tall.
Yeah, like I have to wear kids' hats and
That's funny.
finding glasses.
Okay, whatever,
I-
don't rub it in.
The
I
oversized
have
glasses
short
on me are
legs.
hilarious because I look like a Mr. Potato Head. Because they're like,
Well, how many
I
times
don't
have you
care.
given me glasses? You're like, I can't wear these.
That saves you money though, because you can buy the kids stuff.
There you go.
Sometimes, yes, but I end up wearing things like that. They all have
That's okay.
rainbows and
They're
glitter.
cute. That's really my
Rainbows are
wardrobe.
cute.
That's awesome. Oh, dear. You kill me.
That was amazing.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Anna. I really love all this.
Did
I
we
think
answer all the questions? Did I
I
stray
I
off?
think so.
think so.
No,
we
Yeah.
got
that was
everything.
great.
Good.
So, are you ready to stay with us and discuss the real
Yes.
estate market?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as always, I told you before, like if there's something you're like, what the hell does that mean? Like, let us know and we'll
Yes,
we'll
chime
tell you.
in.
And I
Yeah.
have a question from one of my friends.
Yes,
also.
perfect.
She's
For
watching. I
Cynthia.
won't say her name, but she told me don't.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. We encourage your butting in and giving
Yes.
us your opinions and stuff. We'd love
Please
to
do.
hear it. So, who wants to go
I'll
first?
start with Dufferin County just to get
Yeah.
a high
What about
level.
interest rate?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
well,
Do
actually,
we have to?
Yes.
So-
it's not a happy thing.
No.
it's not a happy thing. Essentially, we're still trying to push down and correct all the inflation and all that mumbo jumbo. And Interest rates were expected to go up. We were hoping for only the 0.25 increase or quarter increase. We went to 0.50, so we went half a point up. So what that means right now is on our prime interest rate, which was 5.95, we're now at 6.45. So that's somebody that's going and locking into a contract right now. If you're already locked in, it doesn't affect
Yeah.
you. Variable will adjust. I don't know what that rate is off the top of my head, and it all depends on which banks you go with.
Right.
Mortgage broker, contact them, get the actual information. I'm not a mortgage broker.
Mhm.
But right now we're going to be looking at 6.45 moving forward until we see another
That's the
increase or
overnight
decrease.
rate.
That's our overnight rate, yeah. So what does that mean? Probably going to affect your overall buying power if you're not already locked into a rate. So check with your mortgage broker. What does that mean? What does that approve you for with that change?
Right.
Naturally, what we've been seeing with the interest rate increase is that the prices of homes are coming down a bit. Their sale price, because people's affordability, you can't afford the 1.2 anymore, and we're now looking at like the 900. So that's adjusted, and that's what the intent was. It was to level out the market. There's a lot of speculation on where it will end up next year.
Mhm.
Probably going to see it high, I would think. My opinion is that we're going to sit high for probably another year and then start seeing a decrease.
And while we say that it's 6.45, again, that's the overnight rate. That's not necessarily what the bank's interest rates will be.
Yes.
But it still remains, and again, it goes to do with interest rate versus purchase price. What's the best time to get in? Was the COVID crazy market better, or is now better? So right now it's reflective of our current situation. 2 to 3 year terms are still the best option.
Rates,
And they're kind of pushing that because, again, get in, buy low, because you can't change your purchase price, and then refinance when your term is up in 2 to 3 years.
Right.
Exactly.
So hopefully in 2 to 3 years, rates will be back to the norm, which is between 2 to 4%.
And then I
Which-
think it comes. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, but that we're talking in that regard, we're always focusing on the variable rate because that's what this prime lending rate is affecting.
Yes.
Fixed rates have started actually to come down.
Yes.
because They're based on the bond rates.
Yeah.
So there's options out there. So
Yes.
don't hear these headlines and think, oh my gosh, I can't afford a house now. This is crazy. There's totally options out there. It's really important to
100%.
educate yourself.
And that's to your point. Is it better to buy narrow? Was it better in COVID? It was
Right.
it's apples and oranges. Is what does it make
Right.
sense to you? What was affordable to you? Yes, you got a lower interest rate before, but you're buying higher. Now you're buying lower with a higher interest rate, but you can change that interest rate. Now, for headlines.
Yeah.
Headlines, be careful. Did you see the post that Anna made the other day about how Blog TO put out something, some headline?
Yeah,
You need to save
it's
for 20
clickbait.
years
Oh yes.
to be able to afford
Yes.
to buy a home. And
Yes.
she broke it down. She's like, this doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Thank you, Anna, or Anna. That one's an
Yeah.
Anna.
You're Anna.
But it just basically saying like, don't always read the headline, because what they were saying was this is a $1.2 million house and you're trying to put down 20%. Yes, okay, that'd probably take you 20 years to save.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you, as a first-time home buyer, you
You're
don't
not
need
doing that.
20%. You can go in with 5%.
And if you're buying, it's relative to the purchase price.
yes,
So again, as a first-time home buyer, in a year ago, you couldn't buy a hole in the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now prices have adjusted so much
Mhm.
that there are great properties available under $1 million, which
100%.
means you only need 5 or 10% down,
Mhm.
plus potential first-time home buyer incentive programs.
Yep.
Mhm.
So this is a really great time because, again, you cannot go back on the purchase price.
Mhm.
I would rather be buying something now and paying more interest at the moment, knowing that will change,
So no matter
Then
what, you're building equity.
sitting in a house that I've already lost equity in.
Yeah.
And still paying out the wazoo because interest rates.
but not to scare the people that had bought in that and have lost equity. You haven't lost equity unless
you
you've
need to
sold.
sell.
It's like stocks. You hold on to the
Yeah.
property, wait it out. But again, even in that market, people made a lot of money because they were selling high and buying high.
Right.
Everything is relative if you buy and sell at the same time.
Mhm.
Trying to time the market, you can't
Never
do
will.
that. It doesn't work. You don't know when
Everybody's
things are coming
trying
back
to
up,
right now,
when it's
though.
coming up.
Yeah.
I know.
That is what's happening
But we
right
don't
now.
know the bottom out. I think we're close to the bottom considering the numbers that we're seeing. Like overall, we're getting last month was pretty stable across the board. I think we said that it was a 1% decrease in Orangeville.
Yeah.
So we're pretty good. And in Dufferin County, we have 27 active properties. We have 44 homes that sold. Pretty good for the month. That's been pretty stable.
27 active?
Oh, I wrote that down wrong. Sorry. Ignore that. I'll confirm that number for you in a second. But we have days on market is 29, and we've got our detached sitting at about 931, 642 for your average in Dufferin County. Semis are 631, townhouses
Oh,
752.
You missed a 7.
Yeah, I missed the 7. We have 277 active homes in Dufferin County. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Sorry.
Condos are at 517. So I mean, if you're getting in as a first-time home buyer, there's options. There's a lot of stuff under that 600 mark, under the 700 mark even. Townhomes are typically a little bit higher because they're usually newer. Yeah, overall, lots of creative ways to get in if you're a first-time home buyer. Come talk to us about them.
What I found interesting, and again, we're trying to say that everything is just our opinion. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the market.
Yeah.
We're just going based on the statistics because math is our favorite.
Right.
To figure
I
out,
hate math.
are we at the bottom of prices going down for now? Because all we know is for now.
Right.
So when, especially Caledon, I'm using that as kind of a middle ground because the city is still seeing multiple offers. Like it's crazy. Not over asking per se, but they might still be seeing multiple offers. Whereas up in Shelburne, we only sold 8 houses again in the month of November. So go to Caledon as a good middle ground. And last month in October, so the stats for October, they had a 90% list price to sold price ratio. So people were getting like a 10% discount off of the list price of houses.
Right.
Fast forward to November, it's gone back up to 97%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that tells
Whereas
me
what
that
was
we're getting
98%.
closer
Yeah.
to where the buyers
I
want to be.
think we're being able, I mean, to your point, we're able to list them and know where we're supposed to be sitting.
It's not just a dark
Yeah,
color.
we were still
Guessing.
experimenting on October, trying to figure it out.
But that's
Yeah.
again, we're not mind readers, we're not psychic. That's how we have to. It doesn't mean that your agent's not good at their job. If your house was priced too high and you had to adjust, that's the nature of the beast. Is our job is to keep you on point with what's happening right now.
Right.
And what's happening right now could be different than tomorrow.
Right.
Well, what do we say to when we go into a listing appointment? We tell the people that are going to list their home, you
Or
list
you
your,
should be telling people.
I would tell them, I don't dictate what your house is going to sell for. I put your house on the market, I market it, I get as many people through the door, and it's the buyer that determines how much they think the home is worth and how much they can afford to pay for your home. Your
Yeah.
phone. I'm looking.
Like if you're
Go
on
back
the
to
market,
Yeah.
if you're on market, you and your agent had a discussion about a price point, because legally we have to give you a range and you as the seller have to choose what you sell for.
Right.
If you go at the higher end and 2 weeks in you still have 0 showings or you're only getting 1 in a couple of weeks, you need to be readjusting that price because that's saying buyers are not wanting this house at that price.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
Because houses are still selling.
That's not a bad thing though, is it, right?
No, it's-
to put it, because I remember when we've been in this house for 8.5 years, but we put it higher and I think we had to lower it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
But we chose, like you said, we chose to go on the higher end to see.
Yeah. The test.
Well, because you're kind of like, what if I had done that?
And
you kinda
again,
need to
this
get
was
that.
like 9 years ago. It's not the same, I guess.
No, but it could very well be the same sort of market
Yeah.
because the market we were in last year and the year before was not normal.
Right.
Selling your house in 5 days and only having 15 minutes to walk through a house and sell everything, including your kidney.
Yeah.
Like you could not, that's not a normal
Right.
market, right?
That's what's driving me crazy about all these news headlines, though, because they're framing everything that was the normal market.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh,
God, kill
prices have dropped 25%. Oh my gosh, sales are down. Of course they are, because that was bananas.
Yeah.
That was not normal.
100%.
No, but neither is this.
No.
This isn't
Well-
normal. I mean, the adjustment is normal.
Yes.
The
How quickly it is
Yes.
flipped? Okay.
yes, how
Yeah.
quickly it's flipped is not the norm. And again, that comes from us having conversation with agents that have been in the business for 30, 40 years.
I remember like the
Um,
best analogy was real estate was a freight train. It took time to
Yeah.
speed up and it took time to slow down.
Right.
Yeah, that sticks with me. And
Yeah.
today, sorry, carry on.
But this is
Yeah.
beyond our control.
Yep.
It's the government with the interest rates and it's doing its job,
Yeah.
a direct effect on prices. But to your question, no, it's not a bad thing to list at the higher price point, provided you're not
Unrealistic.
so far and you have the expectation that this might need to change.
Right.
Because it's when you list knowing you're probably too high, but then you're reluctant to adjust.
Yeah.
It's, or if you're in a stable market and you just list way out to lunch.
Or if your agent misleads you and says like, hey, you're gonna make
Yeah.
this
That
much
does
money and it's not
happen,
realistic. It
unfortunately.
does. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great point. We literally had that discussion this week
Yeah.
of, you know, you go into a listing appointment, we do so hours and hours of research and homework for you guys to
The
make
greatest
sure
thing,
that
I'm like, hey friends, look this over.
I mean, let's be real. Our goal is to sell your house, guys.
Right.
That
Yeah.
I
everybody
don't
has
waste
a
my
common
time and
goal.
money. Yeah.
Yes.
But when you interview 3 or 4 agents and one comes in and they're like 100,000 more than everybody else, that to me is a huge red flag. That they're not in it for you.
Mhm.
They're in it to get your listing.
Yep.
And what's going to happen 2 weeks from now? Huge price reduction, which actually sends the wrong, like a huge price reduction sends the wrong message to buyers.
Oh, I effed up.
Yeah.
But
Or
also
that
you
like
should-
you're desperate,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Something's
really
happening.
you're
You
just,
have to
It
sell.
might
You
just
want to get
generate
low
an
balls.
even lower offer.
you're
Yes.
just adjusting to where you should have been to begin with.
Yes. Good
Right.
point.
But
Because you guys always know when prices have been dropped.
Yeah.
And then you would tell your clients, oh, this house is, or
Yes.
you would say, this house has been on the market
Most
for,
realtors,
2
someone did
months or
research.
whatever.
Right.
to that
Right.
point, and the general public, and I know the 3 of us really promote our clients being educated.
Mhm.
There are so many apps now, like House Sigma, that will
Solo.
tell you what it originally listed at. It'll tell you all the different price adjustments. It'll tell you how long it's been on the market, if it's been terminated and relisted. Like there's so many
Yeah.
different strategies.
Mhm.
Don't always trust them.
Yes.
Don't always
Yeah.
trust the apps.
No, it's and that's
Sometimes
where your realtor is really key to kind of break down that information and what it means.
Yeah.
Because just because someone canceled their listing and put it up again the next day isn't a bad thing. It could just be, I know there are a couple in town that have been sitting for a little while now
Mhm.
and they needed new updated pictures, which I
Yeah.
think is a great thing
Mhm.
because people want to see what it's like right now.
Right.
And also, you need to, if you have a Christmas tree in your picture, and in 4 weeks from or 5 weeks
In
from now,
April.
yeah, you want to
You're
have
still on
refreshed
there,
pictures. But it also, on any of the campaigns, like drip campaigns, they're going to refresh and send them back out to those people again. So maybe the first time it went out to the client, they might have overlooked it. Comes out again, they're like, oh, you know what? I actually kind of really like this house.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different tactics that we use.
strategy behind it.
Strategies, yeah.
For example, let's say you list at 1 million, like 100,000. You're hitting a different. Well, not 99999. Most people list at 1 million at 99999.
I get
Shut
you.
up,
Okay.
because it's in the next group.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
as realtors, if you set your client up to receive property matches and it emails them out and you set it 1 million to 1.2.
Right.
If you're at 99999, they're not going to
98.
see it.
Right.
Shut up. They're not going to see it. So if you do a price reduction or you terminate and you relist under or into their bracket, they now get that email and they now see that listing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
And
sense.
it appears like it's new,
Maybe
but
it
really
was
it wasn't.
difficult.
But that's why you guys would be good, because you'd be able to tell people that. Whereas
Right.
an app
Right.
wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
So if I
Right.
saw that on an app, I would probably just think, oh, something's wrong with that, or
Well,
whatever.
anytime there's an interest in a house, though, a realtor who's working for you is going to give you the information, is going to do the
Yeah.
research and get that. But if you look at an app, yes, you don't see the
You
bigger
just wanna
picture.
see
You don't have all of the systems in place.
Mhm.
And also, there is a lot of like emotional aspects to it. An app can't tell you like, oh, well, they're doing this because of this, or there's
Exactly.
a reason why they've done this,
Yeah.
Or hey, they just finally bought a house and they got a really good deal on it and can now afford to take a little
Right.
less on
Yeah.
theirs.
And the greatest thing is we can pick up the phone, call the realtor, and be like, hey, what's going on here? So
Right.
there's a lot more to it, and obviously get a realtor you trust, get somebody that's going to talk to you and tell you everything. When you're listing your home, don't just take the highest bid. Look at the bigger picture. What's
Please.
everything that they're
Yeah.
doing for you?
Right.
Communication too. Like we talk
Communication's
about that
huge.
all the time.
If they're
Yeah.
telling you up front, like you need to be able to be prepared for these scenarios, that's your best option, because You don't want to go into it being like, oh, this is going to be easy peasy. We'll be done in a week.
Yeah.
And then be disappointed. And like, it's a lot of work to sell a home. It is very frustrating if you're staging, you're not living in your proper organized self or whatever. Like everything is out of place. Everything is awkward because you're getting moved out of your house to have people through it. You have to live in like clean house all the time.
Right.
There's a lot of emotion.
that's-
It's a lot of work. So you have to be able to trust that your realtor is doing everything for you, giving you feedback on what's happening, giving you advice. But at the end of the day, you're also in charge of how your sale goes. You're the person that's selling the house. Your realtor works for you. They're there to help you and support you. So just pick a good realtor. Don't pick the jerk that just gives you $100,000.
Well, and how many times do you hear, well, we went with a guy who said the most amount of money.
Right.
And then in a month, you hear, we went with the guy that told us we'd sell for the most amount of money, but we haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
tons of those calls. Like,
Mhm.
oh, what do I do here? I'm like, sorry. Like,
Your
Yeah.
signs on that long, we can't talk to you. We
I
literally
can't talk to you.
Yeah.
can't legally.
legally.
Intervene.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, moving on. Do you want to talk about Orangeville?
Sure. Orangeville
Impressive,
was
that's
not like Sarah said, we didn't have that much change from October, to be honest. We had 22 sales, 62 active. Days on market has actually come down from close to 40 days down to 28 days. So that shows you that turnover is happening, which is good. Average price overall was in the $916,000 range, which is actually only a 1% drop.
Oh no, our Instagram ended.
We only have an hour. We went over an hour.
Oh dear.
We still got
We
YouTube.
got you too.
Thank you, YouTube. Shout out.
Oh, and we're not recording to have this to repost,
We are
On YouTube.
not vertically.
but we
It's
can't
okay.
get it. Okay,
We'll
we'll
figure
figure
it
that out. Anyway, so sorry. Change in prices overall is really only a 1% difference from the month prior, which to me kind of negates anything.
Mm-hmm.
I did go back to February, March, the height of the froth, like we were talking about before. We're only down 12%. And then I also went back to 2019 November. So this was pre-pandemic, pre-Banana Land, but seasonally adjusted for a typical slowdown that we would see in November, pending up to the holidays in terms of listings. We're up 63%. From November of 2019 to now.
Okay.
So this is what I'm talking about. When they're saying, oh, our prices are down 20%. That's nothing.
From
because
bananas.
we're up 60. So really
Yeah.
we were up 80 and we've come back down. Like
So
that's
basically,
yeah.
you're saying anybody that bought 2019 previous has equity in their purchase. So
yes,
you have options.
100%. You have options.
Yeah.
In terms of the different types of properties, detached, yeah, we're sitting at 833,000, semi 631,000, town 752,000. Again, this is only based on 22 sales. So I would
No.
just take that with a grain of salt too. Like I don't think that
It's tough.
1 month's numbers really dictates the overall.
I only have
Market.
detached. Like I have NA.
Yeah, there's
semis
nothing.
in
Yes.
Shelburne because nothing moved.
Yeah, so
Right.
Orangeville is like, this is our typical slowdown for Christmas season. So you're not going to see a whole lot. There is sales still happening,
Yeah.
just very, very slowed down.
Those are your very serious buyers, sellers. You have to
Mm,
sell.
right.
You have to buy.
Right.
If I was an investor, I would be out there looking right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's a lot of motivated sellers right now that want to get it off before the holidays set in.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know that they're moving in the new year,
Yeah.
and they want to be done with the process.
Like Merry Christmas to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so many of the sellers right now, because again, it's getting people's mindset into a normal, stable market, but many sellers are still in the, oh, I got to sell first.
Right.
Because obviously that's the stressful part. You don't want to own 2 houses. So many of the sellers on the market right now have properties that they've purchased conditional on selling theirs. So great time.
Yeah.
Great time if you don't have a house to sell, especially.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for the
Yeah.
people that don't have anything tying them down.
First time buyers, investors.
Oh, so that was my
Yeah.
question for my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If Instagram's gone, she might be gone, but I'll send her to YouTube.
Yeah.
Was if you're renting right now
Yeah.
and you're looking to buy your first home,
Mhm.
is it a good time? to
100%.
buy?
100%.
Oh,
So
yes.
that answered the
So
question.
Yeah.
typically think of it like you've got a person who has to sell their house. They have that condition in there. A lot of sellers are looking at it like, well, okay, this is going to tie up the sale of my home
Yeah.
for X amount of days. Person coming in has a pretty clean offer, like an inspection, finance. Everybody's accepting those. Those are okay. You come in with a very clean offer with the house sale.
And
So-
and most people do, like we did, like the pre-approved finance ahead
Yes.
of time.
Right.
That's the best thing, right?
Yes.
You have to, like most
Yeah.
realtors won't take you out and
Okay.
show you unless you're
So
pre-approved.
then really it's just the inspection that you're,
Which is
Yeah.
just for your protection as the buyer. You
Yeah.
just want to make sure you're not
yeah.
opening up a can of worms, essentially. right?
Financing is still good to have though, just because it allows your mortgage broker the 4 or 5 days to actually firm up a bank that's going to
Right.
accept it. Just
On that property.
Yes.
specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
because yes, you're pre-approved, but if you went and looked at something that was like falling apart, didn't have a kitchen, didn't have a bathroom, you're not going to get
Or
money from a
rural.
lender.
Or
Rural is also another one, yeah. So there's a lot of different things to think of in there. Cookie cutter house in town is usually pretty good if it's in good condition, but it doesn't hurt to put a financing condition in there. Yes, if you need to pull it out and you're already pre-approved, circumstantial. So,
The way I explain it to my clients is if we're going in with an inspection condition,
Doesn't
then
hurt.
why wouldn't we just put your financing in
Right.
just
Yeah, that
to be
makes sense.
sure?
yeah.
Because there are, to Sarah's point, a lot of underlying things that you may not think of that. So this is taking you from a general picture of, okay, you can afford a house in this budget.
Right.
But when you actually say, okay, here's the house I want to buy, they're ripping it apart and dissecting if that is a good investment.
Yep.
It's not the general picture anymore. So rural properties, most lenders won't touch them.
Mhm.
There's only certain lenders that will.
Mhm.
So if you're working with a bank, they might deny you.
Right.
If you're working with a broker, then they'll have to kind of
Figure
pivot
it out.
to the right
Lender.
lender that they have.
Right.
To Sarah's point, if there's anything about construction or in the write-ups, realtors have had to get really wise in what they're putting in the write-ups. Because if the bank looks at it and goes, fixer upper,
Or
Yeah.
hobby farm.
I'm out.
Hobby farm is another
Yeah.
one. If there's
Yeah.
cattle next door, that's another one that's very hard to get financing on.
Why is that?
Because of cattle and
E. coli.
Sergo, can you contact me and remind me again?
That's the
Explain the whole thing.
environmental
Yeah,
for
thank you.
that. There's also now income into those properties. Then are they going to be subject to HST?
Okay.
And, I mean, usually we do
Yeah.
offers where the seller would have to pay that anyway, but there's just so many other things.
Okay.
Is the point that you may as well put a financing condition in if we're in a market where you have the opportunity for conditions.
And most
Just make
sellers
sure.
would actually prefer that the
100%.
buyer is doing that because it's
Right.
double checking and guaranteeing that you're going
Yeah,
to
they'll
close.
And that
close.
doesn't screw anything up.
There's
for
no
them.
hiccups
So
later on.
essentially, like we actually both had clients, we didn't realize until the next day that we were both going to look at a house that didn't close because people had gone in firm. They got an extension by 2 weeks. They still didn't close on closing day because they didn't get their financing in place
And they
properly.
changed who was going to be on title like four
4
times.
yeah.
Just
Trying
to
to
try
find
to
the
make the
financing.
financing
Grasping
work.
at straws, yeah.
But that's the last place you want people to be. And as a buyer, you don't want to be in the hot seat
Yeah.
that you could lose your deposit or get sued because you didn't take that
Right.
step.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're not in that crazy cuckoo banana
Yeah.
land. Take advantage.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
not? And
Yeah.
especially, it's vice versa. If we're already putting in a finance condition for 5 days, let's do an inspection. If you decide not to do it, you decide not to do it,
Mhm.
but at least you have the opportunity.
I also think that one con to it, when you're asking if this is the right time to do
Mhm.
this, is that, okay, yes, seasonally right now, your choices are limited because there's not as much available on the property. But I would be wise to be keeping a close eye
Oh, yeah.
right now,
Right.
leading up to the start of the spring market, so that you're in a position to be able to put an offer in right away on
Right.
as soon as it comes out.
Well, let me ask you a question as a non-realtor. What general consensus, when's the best time to buy and sell?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Well,
Well,
for
you
you,
guess.
what do you think would be the best for you?
in the spring or summer, just because of what I can see
Right.
So if
and what
And-
other people can see, like when you're taking your pictures and stuff.
everybody thinks
However,
that,
I bought both my houses in October, so
beautiful in the fall.
Yeah, in the fall. Yeah.
So that is the general. Most people
So
automatically
spring,
say,
summer, yeah.
spring, I want my gardens to look beautiful,
Yeah,
yada,
yeah.
yada.
You also think school season too is a big thing.
But everybody else thinks the same thing.
Mhm.
So
You think that
you're
off.
automatically waiting until there's more competition,
Mhm.
which means prices go up.
Mhm.
Well, on the other hand too, though, if you're going January, February, typically those are some of your higher months for sale prices because the inventory is so low. So you have people who need to buy and they have to spend more because
They
inventory
don't
is
have
such a
as
small
many
amount.
space.
And that's what COVID was there was so little inventory and so many buyers, and that's what drove it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
I would, if I could buy an investment property, I am looking, not like I can buy one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
At the end of the
something
day,
to jump
Good
out
if
at.
it works for you, if it's affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the
Whatever
right
works for
thing
you.
pops up,
Yeah.
it's an excellent opportunity to get a deal for sure. Keep in mind and have a lender that's working for you, and that's why we always push brokers. That's educating you on, hey, this could be a short-term thing as far as these interest rates.
Mhm.
So jump in, take advantage of the lower prices. We'll put you on a shorter term, and then hopefully refinance in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And you've already made money. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, is it kind of like, this might sound dumb, but is it
No,
kind of
it's
like having a baby? Like, there's no real right time.
Yes.
100%.
It's just
100%.
like
Yes.
whatever.
You do it and you make it
works,
work.
right?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you don't make it work, you find another way to make it work.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. You
Right.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But like, you put the question to anyone, if we take out real estate and you just say, would you rather buy something at its peak at regular price, or would you rather get it on sale? Or the
Yeah.
option of getting it on sale. And that's kind of where we're at right now,
Mhm.
is you have potential. You know, when we start talking about the list to sale price ratios, that is, if you're looking at, they list at $1 million, that's 1,000,000.
And
And-
that was 10 million.
Yeah.
And you give them full price, it's 100% list to sale price.
Mhm.
Right? You negotiate some money off, and that's where that comes into play. So right now, people are getting on average 3 to 5%
Mhm.
off of their purchase price.
Which is
With
not like
conditions.
crazy to me. Like that's
No, but that
normal.
helps with closing costs.
Yeah.
That helps with so many extra.
But I think
things.
we're also, as realtors, listing with that expectation that it's going to be a certain amount under, probably 15 to 25 under.
Right.
So I think that's us catching up to
Yeah.
where I think we're leveling off.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna see the back of my head for a lot of this. So I'm looking at Sarah. Anyway, so quickly, we're really chatty today.
Sorry.
Shelburne,
It's all of
we
us.
had 61 active listings, so pretty much on par with last month. Only 8 properties sold. On average, this was the biggest difference. We went from 50 days on average to 35
Wow.
Yeah.
for the 8 that did sell.
Mhm.
97% list to sale price. And as I mentioned earlier, we only had detached sales, which now the average is 766, 125. So again, that related to the majority of the detached sales in Shelburne were that 30 to 50-year-old home. They weren't brand new, beautiful, sparkly granite countertops. So that does affect the price a little bit.
Interesting though, because we always say that Orangeville and Shelburne is usually about 100,000 in that gap closed difference in sale price.
Yeah.
And we're not back to that 100 yet.
Close to
We're
it.
833 versus the 766.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But again, it's
For half
when
that.
you break down and you actually look at what
sold.
was selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not a lot of the brand new homes because they don't want to take a hit.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I find those to be the ones that are waiting or in a situation where they have to sell.
Like again, if we went back and pulled those out of that 61,
Mhm.
there's not a lot of inventory in Shelburne right now.
No.
Right? So
And
yeah.
like a lot of these are of the 61, they're really old, which brings down that average as well because you're talking 500,000 or less
right.
is probably a third of the inventory.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're rough. They're century homes with
Yeah.
floors like one of them has literally
Yeah,
a hump in the
hump in it.
floor like this.
Yeah.
Um,
I've also noticed a lot of really small yards up for sale lately.
Yeah.
Small yards and 3 bedrooms. Nothing like wow feature in a lot of the homes.
yeah, I noticed that in Orangeville too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a
And
wow
so-
home for sale,
Yeah.
put that up.
It'll
go quick.
It'll get eyes.
Well, and when we came here to Esther's the other day, she had an awesome little appreciation Christmas party. Thank you again, Esther.
Yes.
Of course, you get a room full of realtors and we're all chatting, comparing listings. And it's funny because it's so price point specific.
Yeah.
Like if you have a listing for 2 million, you're still getting multiple showings a week. If you have a listing in the kind of blue collar average price range of 600 to 900, it's slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And more competition, of course. There's a few things that play into that, but I just found that interesting.
I think it's also you've got a lot of people sitting back because they don't think their home's going to sell.
Yeah.
And there's
nervous.
that nervousness there still. Yeah.
Sadly, where I am right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
that,
we wanted to move the summer of 2020,
Yeah.
which obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
When's a good time? Is it
Yeah.
gonna work? Like, and
Yeah.
like I said, it's a lot of work to get yourself ready to go and put your house on market and
Yeah.
sell and buy
And that swings us back to the point we made earlier of it really depends on the current market. Do you list first? Do you buy 1st? Right now, we're still suggesting list first.
Right.
And then try and do it kind of simultaneously.
At least if you're
That's the
on the
best
market
thing.
and you put an offer in and you're like, I have to sell my house, but you can speak to,
See it.
these are the showings I'm having. We're motivated.
Yeah.
We're not like, oh my God, we're 2 weeks out from getting ourselves ready to be on market. Because that's usually what it takes to like declutter, get yourself staged.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
do
the
a couple
chances you've left
setbacks.
yourself only 2 weeks to sell your house, pretty sure it's
Pretty
not going to
slow,
sell
yeah.
in the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
So you're going
yeah.
to market
Yeah.
unprepared.
Right.
yeah.
So
Lots of
that's
things.
Right.
Apparently an hour and a half of chat today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Always,
We like
always.
to chat.
With cookies.
With cookies.
Yes, with cookies.
I'd rather you
Lunch,
chat than
apparently.
sit there like a silent robot.
Yes.
Anna, thank you again so much for joining us today.
Thanks for
That was
having me.
amazing. Can't wait to share all of these amazing local vendors with everybody.
Put things in your pocket.
And we will get
Glad
to our
it's
giveaways. I again apologize
Yes, we'll
for
circle
my
back to it.
technical challenges here. But as soon as we go off air, I will figure this out and we will announce both our wine bottle winner. Oh my god. And our $150 Blue Bar gift card. Thank you again, everyone, for entering. Maybe we will do a quick little live. Sure. Yeah, we'll do a
We'll
live.
be back
again.
live to apologize for cutting out on our
Cutting
last
out
live.
live. Yes. Anyways, thank you.
Awesome.
Stay tuned. Happy holidays. We will see you in the new year.
Thank
Yeah, we
you.
will.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Okay.
That's so funny.